All right. And we are live, boss.
Got it. All right,
Let's
1
see.
second.
All right. So, giving it a few seconds for people to join us live. And this is.
All right, so
Whoa. I get feedback. You got me live on. You got one of the
yeah,
websites?
it's gone now. It's gone.
You good? Are we good on Facebook group as well?
Yeah, we're good everywhere. Yep.
All right. So, what's going on, boss? What is this, week 3?
Week 3 of the Corona.
Week 3. Looking rugged. And
I'm
living the
looking good.
dream. I just had the Instacart malfunction that had to push back our regularly scheduled 12:30. So what happens is you order Instacart Monday. What's today? What I don't even know what today is.
Today's
Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
it's
tell
Wednesday.
you we'll deliver anywhere between Monday to Friday because they're so backed up. And then about 20 minutes before the show starts, they're like, "Hey, we're shopping." You can't stop it at that point. You can't be like, "Hey, can you come back a little later?" So, and
Yeah, I
then,
don't know. I've never used that before, so I don't know anything about
oh, bro,
Instacart.
it,
I still go into the stores.
you're still taking the risk factor. Nah. So what happens is they'll come and they'll drop it off right in front of you. You shop it right on the app. They'll come, they'll drop it off right in front of my door. Then I'll go out there with the gloves, the mask, and the Lysol wipes, wipe
Mhm.
everything down, and then bring it little by little into the house. And I don't know if that's the best way or not. I don't know if that's the most efficient way, but I guess better safe than sorry, whether it works or it doesn't.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think any of us know exactly. We're just all, winging it day by day, trying to take the best precautions we can. So,
yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
you gotta you got extra precautions you got to take with the new one, the new announcement we found out over the weekend.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I'm having a Corona baby, so that's gonna be extra paranoia, extra carefulness. So that's why we're doing the Instacart thing to not even bother going into the stores. But you hear me on the mic? Good.
Yeah, you're good. Yep.
Okay.
No, yeah, I understand that. So, congrats on that for sure. Congrats on the baby coming on the way.
Thank you very much. So let's get
Baby
down
boy.
to the business. Let's make this one a short and sweet one since we got backed up on my meetings are backed up for today. I got an update on some small business loan stuff that we can talk about a little bit. And I'm launching a new campaign this weekend, and we could talk about that. What about on your end?
Yeah, we're going to a new market starting today. With one of my investors. A little update on the sellers, where sellers are at right now. Sellers and buyers, and just kind of let the people know what we got going on. Let me fix my camera.
What market are you
So
going into?
I'm actually starting. We're going to New Jersey today. I got an investor who we've been talking about doing New Jersey for a minute. We actually got the stuff, settled over the last few days. So we're actually going to start doing some text campaigns in New Jersey today, actually, this afternoon. So Passaic, Suffolk County is pretty much where we're going to be focusing at. But he's already got some business going on there. He's doing a lot of flips there. Um, he actually is an investor of mine that I work with in some other markets too. And he's been, coming at me and saying, "Hey, let's partner and do some stuff in Jersey." So I think we narrowed down everything we needed to narrow out. We're gonna be starting there, marketing there this week.
So in this case, so that people can essentially learn and go out and do it themselves, you got someone that says, find me deals in this specific area and I'll buy them. He gave you a shopping list and told you go get them.
Yeah, so this is a previous client I have in Michigan who's been buying some of our wholesale deals from us, and he's actually been doing some rehab flips in Jersey for the last year. And he approached me and said, "Hey, if you can find anything in Jersey, let me know." But then it kind of formed into him saying, "Hey, how about I finance the marketing and the systems, you do all what you do on your end, and we'll work it together." So that's pretty much how we're doing it right now.
I got people in Jersey too. So as you start to pick them up, let's send them my way, and I'll send them over to them and see if we can't get them to jump on the bandwagon.
Definitely, definitely. And this is one thing we've been talking about. I mean, this is an example of how, any of you guys out there anywhere, if you're looking to figure out a way to partner with us where, hey, you might be in a market where you're just having a hard time, getting off the ground. I've actually been doing virtual wholesaling. I know it's the big buzzword now. I've been doing it nonstop for the last, 4 or 5 years. I've been living in Miami, wholesaling or investing in different markets, So, we do have, me and Kevin both have resources. He's been doing it too. So we have, kind of the template already of how to make it work. So if you're out there and you're saying, hey, look, I need to get started in this market, but I'm not there, or you're in the market, you just need some help, reach out to us. We definitely can help you guys out.
Yeah, if you're watching us for the first time, the way we've been approaching Corona, we're definitely not flipping anything anymore. We're not rehabbing anything. We're not looking to pick up deals in that way. Right now, it's just straight cash flow deals that you can easily rent and or wholesaling deals. So that's the only deals that we're focusing on right now during this era. And just like that, I mean, if you got someone out there that's liquid. Now let's talk about that a little bit, because we had talked about in the last live. Now's the time to have the conversation to raise funds and get people together and let them know that opportunities are coming. So start pulling your money together. So I actually got some DMs asking me what's the best way to approach that. So when we approach it, for me, I have the experience to be able to say, so when someone says, what do you do? I don't just say, oh, I'm a real estate investor, or I'm a private lender, or a mortgage broker. What I basically say is I help people, potentially just like yourself, be able to make a return on investment using real estate, somewhere up to 18% or more sometimes, depending on the deal. That right there is a much stronger statement than oh yeah, I'm an investor, or I buy houses, or I flip houses, or anything like that, because they're gonna say, okay, cool. If you don't have the experience, well then reach out to us, because now the conversation can say, hey, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity because I'm partnering with guys that for the last 10 years since the last crash have taken an opportunity and made some good money, and now they're going to do it all over again. That's going to pique interest for people to say, how can I be down? How can I get involved? I want to know. And we'll do Zoom meetings. We'll get on there. We'll speak to as many people as you need us to speak to, if they're serious. And that's how you pique interest, and you start getting people to say, hey, what can we do together? And hey, I got 30, I got 70, I got 100, I got this much. And if you guys pull that fund together and you have a good relationship to partner on, you can take advantage of this opportunity.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, private money for sure is going to be running to, it's going to be running to real estate, especially experienced real estate investors, right? So, if hard money dries up, it's kind of dry right now. If conventional money's not drying up, but the rules are changing. Remember, there's still private money. Private money is a different whole tool, right? And that's the market where you're going to see private money run and flock to experienced real estate investors.
Yes, sir.
Mississippi, buddy, how's it going?
We got to get him on a live and see how he's doing out there in the markets he's in, and see what's up. We got to bring him on to the next one, because he's always killing it.
Yeah, I talked to him over the weekend. He's doing good out there.
Yeah. Are they holding off? Are they going hard on it? What are they doing?
I mean, I think they're moving cautiously, but we'll reach out to Brent. We'll have him come on, this week, and
have him tell his story.
Have him tell people what he's doing.
We just set up that new CRM that you and me have been playing with. So the team got it set up. We're gonna set out a group of text messages and voicemails to a few of the test lists here in the South Florida market. Feeling out, basically being, like we talked about on the last show, sensitive to the situation, and letting them know, hey, we hope you guys are staying safe, and just letting you know we're doing non-occupant. Obviously, we're targeting not absentee owners, non-occupant homeowners, and we're letting them know if you have problem with rents or anything, and you're going to be looking to sell these properties before there's a market drop, let us know. We're interested. So we're just building that interest and trying to see who's going to respond to that. So that's launching Friday and Saturday. So we'll see what the response is there, and we'll report next Wednesday at 12:30 on the live. And it's going to be the text message and the ringless voicemail is what we're doing.
Yeah, we've still been texting, we've still been cold calling throughout. Only non-owner occupants, mostly following up in our systems. We actually got about 1,000 texts going on. Like people, today's a busy day. Phones ringing off the hook. Sellers are still looking to sell their houses, man. I mean, they really are. So
more than ever, I'm seeing a bigger push in the last 10 days, especially the last 7 days, where they're really wanting to get an offer done. And the problem is the buyer side, but the seller side are starting to feel the crunch, and they're starting to feel the panic, and they're really wanting to make deals happen. So if the deal's good enough, it's finding the buyer that wants to take advantage, but there is a pause. You know what I mean? There is buyers. If the deal is not a no-brainer, they're on pause right now to see where it's going to end up. So I'm seeing realtors call back some clients and say, hey, we're getting a lot of movement, and hey, I have backup offers on this and whatnot on some other deals. And the reality is we're calling their bluff, and they're still 2 days later, they're still on the phone with us. If you're on the phone with me 2 days later and you're trying to say you have backup offers and you're getting a lot of movement on the deal and this and that, 2-3 days later, if you're still calling me back, you're bluffing. Because
I was gonna say that. I mean, I'll give you 3 examples just from this week where sellers are actually starting to feel a little bit more right now. The quarantine's starting to get to them. So, the first one that we had actually, the seller has a 4-property package up in Pennsylvania. And she was hounding, my partner, hounding him. Hey, we got an offer on the table. We need an offer right away. We're being conservative. We're not just throwing out an offer there right now. We're not going to do that. So we ran the numbers, but she was asking, it didn't work. Next day she texts us, oh, it's too late. Property sold. And there's been 2 people talking to us. The following day, I get a text from the other owner who says, hey, you guys got any idea? I'm making an offer on that package. So it's still there. So one thing I'm gonna say. That shows 2 things. If you're a wholesaler right now that's inexperienced, don't try to bluff buyers. Don't do that, because for one thing, the real buyers can tell when you're bluffing. Secondly, if you're trying to build relationships, like we keep talking about building relationships, right now is the time where buyers can find the true, honest investors and wholesalers out there. So the one wholesaler I think was trying to bluff us, and the seller came back around and said, hey, we haven't sold the property yet. So it's still there. Another deal we got. We had a deal where we offered this guy wanted $45,000. I actually saw the house when I went to Harrisburg last month. I saw the house and I offered him seller financing for $45,000. I felt comfortable with that, but not cash. And he called me back on Friday. Was like, hey, just let me know, what you think you can do cash. I really don't want the house anymore. So I called him back yesterday, offered him $30,000 cash, and he said, hey, let me think about it. I think we got to, I think we have a deal, but let me think about it. Well, that's a $15,000 price drop right there from just the beginning of March when we talked initially, so that shows you a movement right there. Then we also have another guy who we were actually buying 3 non-performing notes, land contract notes in Michigan. Non-performing meaning that the homeowners were behind on payments. The structure of the note was kind of messy. It was like low down payments, no down payments on it. It was a landlord who had rentals who turned into land contracts in the middle of them being rentals. And we had it locked up for like $100,000 for all 3. And I told him, hey, I can't pay that for all 3 right now with the uncertainty on if we'll get the payments, if we'll get that. I offered him $75,000 for all 3, and he's like on the fence about taking that. So right now is the time where you start. Like last week, the week before, sellers were still like, oh, it's good. I'm still gonna ask my high overpriced price. Now you're starting to see sellers come a little bit to reality. I think that quarantine fatigue is coming in. If they're watching TV all day, they're probably sitting there worried as heck. And you're starting to see some of these sellers come down in their numbers.
Yeah. Brent hit us up and said we pushed pause for a little bit and reduce expenses. due to the uncertainty of if courthouses would be open, if we could close or get clear title. Nothing is done online over there in Mississippi. So putting the foot on the gas now, still closing and pushing more on the creative options. Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about last week. I think right now, if you're sitting there wondering, should you start marketing? If you, like we said last time, definitely start building that sellers list. You don't necessarily, just like we're doing right now, in the couple examples we've given you over the last 2 weeks, we're not necessarily solidifying a final price unless it's a dramatic decrease. That just makes sense no matter what. But we're keeping them in the microwave. We're being honest. Hey, listen, things are crazy. We're going to buy. We're definitely interested. Let's see how the next weeks play out. How much, we're going through the process. And I think the process where it used to be a 1 to 2 day process, now we're turning it into a few weeks process of the negotiation.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. We're not in a hurry right now because nobody's moving really fast right now. Brent's actually been kind of my he was kind of giving me updates about Mississippi before this stuff even started, kind of letting me know, hey, Jory, next week they might close the courts. Next week they might do this, they might do that. So I've been talking to him kind of throughout that.
Yeah, it's now is a slow play. Right now is a slow play, but stack the list, because the minute buyers are ready to go, you want to go back and visit, and you want that list to be 30, 40, 50, 70, 100 prospects that were looking for offers. And we go back and revisit it. Will you get all 100? No, not necessarily. But the bigger the list, the bigger amount of deals you're going to get, because the percentage, even if you just close 2 to 3% of those, 2 to 3% if you've only talked to 3 people versus 2 to 3% if you've talked to 300 people in the next couple months, is the big difference here. So
yeah, it's definitely slowed down. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, we're still closing deals. I mean, we're still averaging about 2 deals closed per week right now, throughout this. So, and the reason why, these are all seller finance, creative finance deals. So these aren't deals that required hard money or, financing, because those kind of deals aren't moving right now. But all my creative financing deals, my land contracts, my subject twos, those are still being pushed through. Title companies might not be open, but we've gone to notaries at auto mechanic shops. We've gone to notaries at grocery stores. So there is still some stuff still going on. But
and as far as the SBA, a lot of people have been asking me about the PPP loan for you and your staff, and you're trying to keep the people that you're working on board and pay their payroll or whatnot. The PPP, which is that payroll protection program, they still are not fully getting their stuff together. There's a few banks, Chase and Bank of America, that they're getting the application out of the way, but they're not processing it, right? So they're just kind of getting step 1 out of the way. We're going to be able to help people once it's ready to go and they're going to start processing it. We'll be able to point you in the right direction, give you a couple different options. So we'll be posting on our social medias about that. So stay tuned. Don't stress right now, because there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Again, like what we talked about, the government pushed the policy so fast to get something to help the American people, but SBA and these different organizations that now are in charge of seeing it through need some time to organize, set the rules, and the banks need some time to set the teams and the efficiencies and the SOPs. I mean, it's no different than right now if you try to launch in a different market and a new marketing campaign and a new CRM. You're not going to get it done in 2 days. You're going to take some time to figure that out. Same exact thing is happening there. So for those of you who've been emailing me and DMing about the PPP program, yes, we will be able to help you out. Yes, it's still coming, but hold your horses a little bit. And we're waiting for the final details and for SBA to give us a clear direction. And then we'll be blasting it out to you guys so that you know.
I applied for the PPP Monday, actually. So I went to Bank of America on Friday, and Bank of America, I don't know if you knew that or not, they actually had a requirement that if you didn't have a loan or credit card through your business with them, they wouldn't you weren't qualified.
Most banks. Most banks. But we're pulling together about 20 SBA lenders that are going to take people, even if they don't have an
Bank of
account.
America changed. Bank of America changed their tune on Monday, so we were able to apply on Monday. We got an email yesterday saying that they got our application and that it's in processing.
That's it.
So that's all we've got right now. I did see one thing. I was actually watching the news this morning because you're probably hearing, if you listen to the news, you're going to say that the money's already running out. Right? I've heard it a couple times, but one thing I did hear that was that they said that they were trying to push money through to real estate companies. So investors, realtors, people who are in real estate, the government actually told the SBA, this is what I saw in the news, that they're guiding them to push money through to those kind of companies to make sure they get some money. So that could be a positive. Again, real estate always comes out usually on these types of programs. So let's see.
Brent says he's focusing right now on raising capital, staying in touch with our buyers, making more creative offers. Cash offers are less than they were 2 weeks ago. So he's already lowering his cash offers 2 weeks ago and following up with our cold and warm leads.
Yeah, that matches everything we've been saying. That's what we've been saying for the 3 weeks. Now, if you don't know how to follow up, man, perfect your follow-up game right now, right? Take some time to raise capital right now, reevaluate your deals in the pipeline and, see what you need to do to reevaluate them off of what's going on with the market right now. But more importantly, following up and being creative is what's going to get people through whatever we have coming ahead of us.
Yeah, maybe what we can do is if you're down for it in like 2 weeks, come on and we'll just talk all the creative offers that we're doing and the people we're talking and just make the whole live about creative offers.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. We can do it next week if you want. Let us know what you think.
All right, fellas, I'm out. I gotta go finish putting all the Instacart crap back in the fridge, and I got a meeting in 5 minutes as well. Stay safe, and if you're sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing except binge watching Netflix, you're making a mistake. Because obviously you see everybody here still hustling, still fine-tuning. Now's the time to fine-tune your CRMs, your marketing, your scripts, and build that list, man. Build that list of both buyers and sellers that are hungry. Because when it drops,
definitely. Yep. When the smoke clears, you better be ready to run. That's all I'm gonna say, because I know we're ready to run. So when the smoke clears, you better have a list lined up of sellers to call, buyers you talk to, and go out there and go after it. Because people are gonna be ready to make some deals. So all right, man. I will talk to you later on, Kevin. Talk to you guys out there. Shut up and invest.